Hello, everyone. It's Lisa Patterson with Daniel Ravenel Sotheby's International Realty in beautiful historic Charleston, South Carolina. And I just want to ask the question, have you ever thought about purchasing a home, especially when it's in a multi-million-dollar price range and never seeing it? Well, let me tell you, I've sold a lot of properties in Charleston sight unseen. And today we are going to speak with Margee and Tom that I helped purchase a home like this. And they are going to share what their experience was. And I hope this is going to be helpful, especially in a tight market where inventory is low and you have to jump on things as soon as you find them. So let's stay tuned and listen to what Margee and Tom have to say about their sight unseen purchase. Hello, everyone. It's Lisa Patterson with Daniel Ravenel Sotheby's International Realty in beautiful historic Charleston, South Carolina. And today I'm joined by Margee and Tom. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Hi, Lisa.
Great. Nice to see you.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today is this happens a lot. A lot of people don't like to do it. They're scared to death to do it, but making a purchase of a home sight unseen without even seeing it. And Margee and Tom's going to share how we did that and what the process was. And first question, did you ever think you would buy something between $1 million and $2 million in your life and never see it?
Never. And people thought we were crazy, but it's worked out great.
Yeah. You guys were coming for California. I will say we at least did meet one time and we saw some properties, things just didn't work out, wasn't what you're looking for. And I heard about something was coming back on the market and let you know. And so what made you decide that, like, okay, I knew you loved Charleston, I knew you wanted to be here, but what made you decide, okay, we're going to do this? We can't get there and look at it, but we're going to trust Lisa. What made you decide that?
It all starts with trust. If you don't have somebody that you trust who understands the market and can give you advice that you can believe in, it would have never happened. So it starts with trust.
From the start, we had such a natural rapport with you, Lisa. I mean, you are just such a kind, open person, and you just initially, right from the start, demonstrated such an interest in getting to know us as people, what we were looking for. And it just told us that you were interested in getting the right sale, not just any sale. So we instantly had that trust.
I appreciate that. I pride myself on that. I don't want to just sell a house. I want to have a relationship with my clients. And that's something we've become friends and we see each other. It's not like you just never heard from me after the sale. But so let's talk about some of the things that we did to make you comfortable with that. Well, of course, I went and did a FaceTime video with you guys and walked through and showed you everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes. Walked through every room, opened every cupboard, every closet, walked the street, showed us the neighborhood, pulled up plot maps to tell us who was around us. You never didn't respond to any one of our concerns or questions about really getting to know the home and the neighborhood.
Well, and the intel you gave on our neighbors was incredible and super spot on. We are very good friends with our neighbors, and you nailed it. And the intel that you gave us on the large home next door that was being renovated, we became very good friends with them. So again, and they were incredibly complimentary of you. They were like, I don't know who your realtor is, but she gave you really good advice on this house because they were going to go through a significant renovation and turn it from a multifamily dwelling to a single family. And it was just terrific. It was terrific advice.
Yeah. And then you also had, you're in Charleston Village and there's an area right in there with some college kids. And so we had to check that out. I tell people, don't ever ask me a question you don't really want to know the answer to, because I'm pretty brutally honest, I'm going to tell you. So I shared with you that there's some college kids in the neighborhood. There's some college rentals. You have the frat houses down the corner, but they don't live in, it was a lot of stuff like that. Did that scare you at all?
I think it scared us a little bit, but what you did to counter that was phenomenal. You put us in touch with another client of yours who's now become a friend who literally lives a block away, also surrounded by college kids. And I think what really did it for us was your block by block understanding of this market. you would say a block away over between this street and this street, you don't want to live there. Your block is absolutely wonderful. And then speaking to this former client just gave us a little bit more peace of mind, that she trusted you. She went with you. You knew what you were talking about. And it resonated with us and took away those concerns.
Yeah. And again, but the advice you gave us, just because there were a lot of people who were like, wow, you're going to be living next door to the college. You better be ready. And your advice on why not to take that at face value was spot on. You know, while yes, we live in an area that's close to the college, it's very muted. You know, all the social activity is, you know, blocks away. So I think it scared a lot of people off of this neighborhood. But again, your advice was great.
Yeah. There's, you know, when people are looking in Charleston Village, I explain to them there are certain streets, there's more college children, but the other thing, we have the livability court. So if you have problems, you just report it, they take care of it. It's not, you know, it's not a big a deal as people think. And then I think I did tell you when we walked down your street and showing you the street, I'm like, you have a city, someone from the city that lives there that serves on the council. And then, you know, Pat from Southern Charm lives down the end of the street. I mean, she can live on that street. Anybody can live on that street.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's again, everything you said came true. And
well, and it just speaks to kind of your process. You did not write that concern off for us. You went point by point. You pulled plot maps. You know, asked neighbors. You just relieved any concerns, which is, again, speaks to the trust, and it speaks to just, you know, how you operate. And yeah, I mean,
I appreciate it. Now, the other thing, and I've had this happen with other clients, you purchased your house, you closed on it, and you didn't come here for what, 2 or 3 months to even see it?
yeah,
Because you were moving from California. So there was a period of time. And I remember I left your key at the hotel you're going to stay in. And then it was like a couple of days before you got to your house. And I didn't hear from you for a couple of days. I was a little nervous. But then I remember I got a message from you guys. You wanted to come by my house. And what did you say, Tom, when you walked in that house? What did you say?
I walked in and I was like, clearly, Lisa, you know what you're doing. I mean, it was such a, it was a big project you were taking on. You were totally hands-on on that project. It was great to watch you work. And I mean, to say that you're in the industry is an understatement. You know, you're not only in the industry, you are taking part in, you know, home renovations, and you're super hands-on. So when you gave us advice around, you know, things that came up in the inspection and things that we couldn't see because we were in California, you know, you put a lot of trust in people. And your knowledge of the local market was incredible. Even down to the flooding concerns and such, which, you know, in Charleston, it's just a fact of life. We live in an area that can be prone to flooding, and your expertise around those things is great. But watching you at your home was one of the pleasures of all of this, because you clearly really love this industry and you love where you live, and it shows. Your enthusiasm is infectious. It's great.
And I just remember giving you a big hug and saying, we love you so much. We love our home. I mean,
you know, I know Tom mentioned to me that when you guys did finally get there and walked into your house, your new house, he told me via text, he's like, I've never walked into something I haven't seen and felt like I've been here because of all the processes we did and all the information you had.
It was so familiar to us already, and you had made that happen.
But it exceeded expectations, and you're like steeling yourself, getting ready to kind of have a letdown. And we had the exact opposite. And to this day, Lisa, we walk through this house and I'm like, pinch me. This is such a blank canvas that we have so much to work with. And it's so classic Charleston. And the block is everything we like. It's got a ton of activity with young people, but a mixture of old time Charleston people who are really kind of anchors of the community. And so no, it's exceeded expectations, and it's like, we don't want to tell people about it because I don't want more people to move here.
You sound like all of my clients that come from off, as we, locals,
Correct.
the people that come here from off. And, I have a lot of New York and New Jersey clients. There's like, don't tell anybody else about this place.
Correct.
I'm like, I think the secret's out. It's been out for a little while, but I also have friends on that street. So I knew that they had loved it there. So I knew I was going to, helping you get somewhere that was going to be a great. And, that house had been on the market, had been under contract and fell through. And I just happened to hear about it. So we were able to jump in and snag it before it actually kind of went back on the market. It was just going back on. So it worked out well.
I wanted to also just mention too, I think that the piece that we haven't even talked about is all of your referrals, all of your connections in the process, Lisa, setting us up with a local lender, which was such an important piece of this. You're getting us the right inspections, your insurance connections,
the closing attorney,
everything was turnkey. You were so responsive on everything, and every single person that you connected with us with was phenomenal as well. So your network is just terrific.
I love to refer people in my network. And one of the things that I do, whether it's a contractor, a plumber, a closing attorney, a lender, whomever, I never refer anyone in that network that I haven't personally used myself. So I know they're good. Like the lender that you used, I use them. And everyone knows I've restored 38 historic houses. I've lived in all these houses. I've had a lot of mortgages over the years. But I will have to say the lender that I referred to you that I ended up using myself, I've never, in all the mortgages I've ever had anyone that streamlined and made the process so easy as she did.
Well, they've turned into one of our primary banking relationships here.
Really?
And she's actually turned into a friend.
Yeah, she's great.
Well, now it's like I said, every referral you've given us has been great. I often think that we lean on you too much. I mean, because, well, whenever we have something go on, I'm like, call Lisa. Like, ask Lisa.
All of my clients do that. And, as I told you in the beginning, when we first met, I'm like, I love all the people I work with because I end up being friends with all of them. So everybody texts like, oh, I need a plumber, this happened, or I need this, and you've met most of my clients through, functions that I have, and I've become to be friends. But yeah, and what is so funny, they always laugh. It's like, I can't believe right off the top of your head, you just send me somebody, but they're all in my phone. And it's people I've worked with, so I always know who to send.
Well, it's funny. I was conversing with one of our family members, via text today, and he was reminding me, because he was saying, how's Charleston? And I'm like, it is amazing. We love it. And he goes, I still am blown away that you and Margee bought that house sight unseen. And so it resonates with all of our friends who are smart people, successful people, right? But you just don't. I mean, you never think in your life you're gonna do something like that, but it turned out great. I wouldn't say we would do it again unless we were working with you. But,
it depends on where you're going. I might not be able to go somewhere else, but I can. That's the other thing within the Sotheby's, affiliation. I know so many Sotheby's agents that I actually personally know. I have met. So that's another thing. Like if somebody was moving, if you're moving back to California, and depending on the area, I could hook you up with someone that is just like me because I meet these people and I know them. If you were going to New York, all these different relationships I have. So there are other people out there like me. It's just most people just don't want to. I guess they don't have. Hey, I wouldn't. You guys met my husband. You know him. I wouldn't send him to buy a house for me. So I can imagine doing it without ever seeing it. So.
Right.
Well, but the other part is we didn't explore Charleston Village at all. Mm-hmm. We were really going off of your advice. I mean, you talked us out of markets that we thought we would love. It's funny, we go and visit them now, like IOP and Sullivan's, and we're like, thank God we didn't move here. Thank God. Lisa gave us some greatest advice.
What our priorities?
Because we can visit them anytime. Yeah. But for us, our lifestyle, we want to be in downtown Charleston.
Walkability and all
we
that.
Pinch ourselves every day walking up and down the street. So it was not just giving us advice on Charleston Village and Montague. It was talking us out of markets that a lot of people will gravitate to because they've got big names and things like that, but it just wasn't right for us. So again, it just showed us that we're not just a a number,
or a sale.
You were looking at us and saying, well, these people are moving from California. They've got 5 kids. They're leaving. All their kids are in college. They're downsizing. What do these guys want? Well, they want to live in downtown Charleston, and not even south of Broad. You were saying, it's really quiet down there. You guys are going to want a little bit more. And you were right. You're spot on. Not to say that, we won't buy a home down there someday. For right now, where we are in life and getting to know Charleston, there's no better place. Everything is walk. You can walk everywhere, ride bikes. It's terrific. And you nailed it. You met us and you figured out what we wanted. And I can't believe it. You were right.
Here we are.
It's funny. I tell people all the time when people call me, they're coming from another state and they start spouting off, I want this, 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 and this. And I'm like, hold up. And we did this too. We sat in my office and did this. You're not buying a house. You're buying a lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? What are you going to do when you're here? And some people look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, why? This has nothing to do with my house. But in Charleston, we have all these different lifestyles and there's one for everyone. And I really want to put you in the right lifestyle so you will love where you live. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the reasons I ended up in the business. I started off on the investor side. My dad used to tell me, you need to go into residential. You're great at matching people with houses. You know what to buy, you know what to do and everything. And I was an attorney, and I'm like, I don't want to be a realtor, and I was flipping all these houses, and that was his best advice area. So 42 years later, here I am. And
well, the highest compliment we can give you, we have a lot of friends and family and acquaintances that are in this business. None of them work as hard as you do.
Oh,
but you make it look so easy and you make it look so natural. But we were saying this morning, we have friends in the business in California. We're like, if they could only do what Lisa does,
take a page out of Lisa.
Right? They would be so much more successful. But no, it's been great, and we plan on doing a lot of business with you, Lisa.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all the things that you've said. I've loved working with you guys and getting to know you since you've been here and getting to be friends with you. And I hope we can spend a lot more time together. And I really appreciate you doing the video. Maybe this will help some people because, in this market with limited inventory and high demand, you have to jump when you find something.
You've got to jump. You've got to listen.
That.
It's trust, and you got to commit. And because.
And you're the partner to do that with 100%, Lisa.
Well, it's a desirable place to live. You got to act.
Charleston. I traveled the world, but there's no place like this ever. I fell in love with it the very first time I was ever here. Fell in love with Charleston before I fell in love with Kip. He was
thanks to you, we have too.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys, and I hope to see you really soon.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye, Lisa. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.